They got to make it hard for you, right? Just in general, not because you got anything to do with it,
Yeah.
but when he can point and say, "Well, this actually happened."
No, I mean, it doesn't make it hard for me.
Oh my word. Did you see this interviewer, Charlemagne de God, interviewing Ilhan Omar there? Did you see how panicked he looked when she responded the way she did? And then he must be worried about not getting her back on the show. But then she says it. It doesn't make it hard for me. Ice cold Ilhan Omar talking about Somali fraud rings, massive Somali fraud rings, stealing hundreds of millions from you, the U.S. taxpayer. One of her 2016 donors, now a fugitive in Minnesota's huge Medicaid fraud bust. But that's just the warm-up. Stick around because in a minute we are exposing the mother of all accounting errors. How Ilhan Omar's net worth magically went from pocket change to as high as $30 million, then got amended down to under $100,000 with one lame excuse. No, I'm not kidding. This just happened. The panic is real. The lies are piling up. And by the end of this video, you'll know exactly why she should have never been here in the first place. While American families are getting robbed blind by these fraudsters, Omar's playing the victim card for hard-working Somali business owners. Back to this dude who gave her all this money, one of the hardworking business owners, a convicted Somali fraudster turned fugitive. This is the same guy who just got released with no conditions on bail. He could have taken $50,000 with travel restrictions or $150,000, and he could travel the world. And guess which one he took? The $150,000 deal, and then he fled the country. Okay, stealing $11 million from Minnesota's Medicaid program previously donated to Ilhan Omar, according to matching business registration records and campaign finance filings reviewed by the Washington Examiner. Saeed, who is fleeing a slew of felony charges in what the state has dubbed the largest Medicaid fraud prosecution, cut a $1,000 check, the maximum amount allowed, to Omar when she first ran for the Minnesota House of Representatives in 2016. The donation receipt, dated November 2015, shows that Saeed described himself as a self-employed business owner, one of those hardworking business owners being terrorized by the Trump administration calling out the fraud. You've got to be kidding me. His address listed on Omar's 2015 campaign contributions form matched the location of Saeed's consulting firm, Prestige Consulting and Marketing. It's like the Leering Center, folks, which he misspelled when he incorporated the company before he moved its office to a strip mall in northeast Minneapolis, where many of his business ventures are, including Ultimate Healthcare. We're ostensibly located under one roof. Ultimate Healthcare, folks, where you get the ultimate care. I don't know what to do but laugh, because this is freaking appalling, folks. This is appalling what's going on. Okay? It's easy for her because the system she keeps defending is the same system that keeps feeding her. But now for the payoff you stayed for, the $30 million accounting empire. Ilhan Omar swears she's not a multimillionaire, blames a massive accounting error on her filings. 1 year, her disclosures showed assets between $6 million and $30 million. Huge jumps in her husband's winery and venture capital stakes. The next filing, almost nothing. This, folks, from the Wall Street Journal. Check it out. Democratic Rep. Ilhan Omar of Minnesota, facing potential investigations pushed by President Trump and House Republicans, said she isn't as wealthy as documents say she was on these previous filings. An Omar disclosure filed last year showed she and her husband had assets of between $6 million and $30 million, a massive rise in wealth from her previous annual filing. That jump triggered questions among Republicans eager to scrutinize a critic of the president. Oh, yes, that's what it was all about, just scrutinizing her because she was a critic. No, the amended filing reviewed by the Wall Street Journal shows the couple's assets to be just $18,000 to $95,000. The forms don't require exact values, only broad ranges, like 6 to 30 million, folks. Omar's husband, former political consultant Tim Manette, is involved with a variety of businesses. Those include the venture capital management firm in Washington, D.C. Remember the one run out of a WeWork office? And a winery in Santa Rosa, California, her disclosure forms show. Again, no real office. Those businesses had previously been listed as a worth between $6 and $30 million in the amended filing. They are shown as having no value once liabilities are factored in. Aides say Omar looked at the form before it was filed in 2025, but the error didn't jump off the page. Folks, let's take the mid of these ranges. 50,000, 21 million. Let me ask you a question. If you were looking at a form quickly, just breezing through it, okay, would you notice that difference? We're talking a difference of $20.95 million. We're talking going from 5 zeros to how many zeros are in a million? 6 zeros. No, we're talking 4 zeros to 6 zeros. Okay, that's what it is. Like, you wouldn't notice that? This is absolute. How stupid does she think we are, folks? Okay? It didn't jump off the page because she wasn't involved in her husband's businesses, and she trusted the accuracy of the accountant who provided her husband's figures. Was this a Somali accountant, folks? I mean, I'm serious. She thinks we're as dumb as the people of Somalia apparently have some super low IQ because of inbreeding and stuff. The amended disclosure confirms what we've said all along. The congressman is not a million, said Jacqueline Rogers, an Omar spokeswoman. The congresswoman amended her disclosures voluntarily as soon as the discrepancy was identified. Sure she did. Okay, on to the next thing, folks. Accounting error. What the hell? Is that a typo? Folks, we're millions. Anyways, the same woman who lectures everyone about stupidity and demands intellectual debate. Check it out.
These people are just idiots. I really, I'm at the point where it's become really hard to have an intellectual debate with any of these people because the level of stupidity that they are displaying every single day is frankly embarrassing, not just in Congress, but as Americans. And the fact that these people are allowed to say just the most ridiculous things tells you that the dumbing of the United States has arrived, because how else do we get a Trump presidency again?
I can't even, folks. Seriously, the lady who can't keep her own book straight is calling the rest of us idiots. And every single time these Democrat politicians get caught with their hands in the cookie jar, the left screams, "You're attacking success." You guys have seen this pattern. Bullshice, we're attacking fraud, man. We want to know how someone pulling a congressional salary rockets to multimillionaire status while her own district gets looted. This isn't success, it's a scam. And now, folks, the panic is showing, okay? And Ilhan Omar should not even be here, okay? We've got, number one, the voting fraud, paying for ballots exposed by James O'Keefe, okay? Project Veritas operatives caught her in that. You've seen it. Reason 2, lying about her brother marriage. Reason number 3, lying about her age. Remember this? The records show she fudged her birth year from 81 to 82. Why? To qualify as a minor and get derivative citizenship when her father naturalized. Another convenient oops, right? Just paperwork errors, folks. Reason number 4, her dad's connection to the genocidal regime in Somalia. Nur Omar Mohammed served as a colonel in Syed Barre's brutal dictatorship during the Isaac genocide. Over 200,000 dead. She paints her family as pure victims. The truth is far darker. These aren't conspiracy theories, folks. These are documented red flags and should have kept her out of Congress forever. Okay? But look at this. A panic's real, folks. She's running around saying, oh, this is just an accounting error. Why? Because an investigation had started. Let's watch this clip with Miranda Devine.
Why is she so confident that nothing's going to happen? Why so confident? It's not all just politics. There's reality here.
Okay, hold on. I would note that if she was that confident, she wouldn't be adjusting these forms. But let's move on.
Stuart, I just have to point out the vocal fry there. It's getting worse every day. I don't know what it is with leftist women that they have to make their voices sound so croaky and awful. But look, she said it there. She said, I understand politics. She sure does. She represents Minneapolis, one of the most left-wing districts in the country. And the Somali bloc, which is her bloc, I mean, she's told us that the Somali president is our president, her president. That's her base. She gets like 95% of the vote there. It's a very easily manipulated and organised voting bloc. And there's a hell of a lot of fraud there, as Dr. Oz has just been telling us.
Yeah, it's an easily manipulated voting bloc, folks, because that it's filling they're getting the cash for it. I mean, they're stealing our money. Of course, it's easily manipulated. I mean, you know, you could probably manipulate other people too if you just started giving them all this money. I mean, the sad reality is we need a real heart change here in the country. We need a revival because everyone's so easily corrupted right now. But it's obviously far worse in the pirate community.
You know, billions of dollars, and it's from the Somali community, as Nick Shirley, the conservative YouTuber, showed us so vividly in December. And so that's the money that fuels her campaign, no doubt. Certainly that fraud money, Dr. Oz says, from defrauding Medicaid and all sorts of social services, floods into union coffers, and then it floods into the Democrat Party. So she definitely, like all Democrats, is benefiting from this turning of the blind eye by Tim Walz, the governor. And so she understands that there is never any accountability. She can go out and call Jews the Benjamins. She can go out and say 9/11 was just somebody doing something. She can have her husband going from a net worth of $51,000 to $30 million just inexplicably, and be brazen and not care, because she knows at the end of the day, no matter what she does, her voters will keep voting for her.
Miranda Devine, you've been away too long.
Okay, here's the scoop. She's right. The voters will keep voting for her in Minneapolis. I'm telling you, folks, it's pretty wild. You guys saw when I went down there and did some on-the-street reporting during the whole ICE operation down there. But I will say this much. Her voters may vote for her, but there are investigations taking place right now. I want to see her gone. My biggest concern is that some Republicans see this simply as a means of raising dollars. By keeping Ilhan Omar front and center, they can do rage bait and get people to donate to their cause. That's my biggest concern in all of this. But folks, with all this craziness going on, do you know what you need? A good night's sleep. Go to mypillow.com/lumberjack for big savings and the best sleep products available, or call 1-800-568-2865. The towels are on sale right now. They're my favorite towels by far. It's not even close. I drag them with me wherever I go. They're soft. They're super absorbent, not like the crappy towels you get in the store. But, folks, Omar is already in meltdown, okay? Please investigate whatever you want, she says. These probes are nothing but clout chasing. This was all on that same Breakfast Club interview, and it's featured in Mediaite. Okay? This is what she's saying. But look at this. She dismissed multiple potential investigations into her as clout chasing by Republicans, insisting they can investigate whatever you want. Omar was asked about multiple probes during Wednesday appearance on the Breakfast Club. The lawmaker is facing all these probes, though she stressed she's seen nothing official. House Oversight Chair James Comer, Republican Kentucky, has pushed for an ethics investigation into a recent increase in net worth of Omar's husband. Trump has referenced concern about Omar's husband as well, calling for her to be investigated for political crimes. So we are seeing right now a purge taking place in Congress. Okay, we are now seeing, I think, 4 that are going to be going by the wayside. We've already seen 2 go. That's Swalwell and Gonzalez. Then we're going to see Corey Mills, and then that Sheila Murfuffus McCormick, or whatever her name is. Also, Ruben Gallego is going to get the axe. But we need more. And Ilhan Omar is definitely one of those people. And she can run around saying, investigate whatever you want and try and deny this stuff, but it's real. It's not clout chasing. These are real crimes: fraud ties, immigration lies, taxpayer theft, and now this ridiculous $30 million accounting flip-flop. She's daring investigators because she thinks nothing will stick. But with Trump pushing and House oversight moving, the panic really is beginning to set in for her. Subpoenas, audits, real consequences. Okay, the left will cry racism, Islamophobe, attacking a successful immigrant. Save the tears. This is about the rule of law. Okay, that's what this is really about, the rule of law. This is about protecting taxpayers from grifters who game the system they swore to serve. These people all take an oath to the Constitution. Fraud donors, sudden millions wiped away with an error. Come on. Brother marriage lies, age frauds, dad's regime ties, zero accountability, while her community gets hit with fraud after fraud after fraud. Ilhan Omar isn't a victim of smears. She's the problem. America's done getting played. House Republicans and ICE, do your freaking job. Subpoena, deport. The people are watching. We want real accountability. Drop your comments below. How much accountability do you want to see for Ilhan Omar? I actually don't want to see her in jail anymore because I don't want her here in the U.S. I want her gone. I want her citizenship revoked. I want a deportation done. I want her back in Somalia, the country she claims is first in her language. Again, go check out my sponsor, MyPillow, mypillow.com/slumberjack or 1-800-568-2865. Remember, subscribe. We'll see you on the next episode. Peace out.